All right. Good morning, everyone. I have like a little bit of a stuff going on in my nose. I feel pretty good, but like just like kind of nasally. So I might sound a little weird or funny. Hopefully, not too bad. But today I'm going to talk about heaven, hell, God, energy, and what it all is. Um, the other day, I was actually just driving with some friends, and we were talking about religion and just how we don't really like believe a lot of the things that other people believe, and I just kind of channeled what heaven and hell was like on the fly, and basically, a lot of people think of heaven as like this place, and also what happens after life. And that's not necessarily true. Um, Afterlife is very different than heaven and hell. Heaven is a state of being, and so is hell. Hell is associated with your mind. So if you are living in hell and you are living in a state from your mind, um, and like of thinking and a worry and anxiety and um, like the present or the past and the future, then you are living in hell. Um, if you are living in heaven, then you are living in the present moment, which does not exist in the mind, it exists in your body and your heart. So, a lot of people have this struggle, at least I did, of like people will call it battling your demons. So the demons are your thoughts and is your mind. And when we overcome that battle, that doesn't mean that thoughts go away. It just means that we stop associating ourselves with our thoughts. And it is a battle. It's a painful experience. It might take time, like a year. Mine was like probably like a year of extreme dark night of the soul stuff. You're just like turning inwards, crying, releasing, and you're sort of battling with love and it's sort of like letting go of the mind. It's a letting go process. There's this grip that some of us have on the mind where we're so attached to like our thoughts and the way things are, and like when we start to loosen that grip and we soften and we let go of this like muscle that we're holding on to in our mind, it's a thought, we start to live more in balance with our body and our hearts. And it truly is a battle. And sometimes we're so gripping on to like our thoughts that, I mean, that is hell. And then when you start to soften and live from your heart, you start to let love take over you. You let go of things more. You're not holding on to things. You're not living in a state of like, this is how it should be, and I'm putting my strong boundary up, and like, I don't know, there's like this state of being where you can let things happen and you can accept things and you can let people be who they are. In return, you are accepting yourself, or you can live from the mind in this place of like control. So it's like letting go of control, and it is a battle, and that is heaven and hell. Um, Now, what happens after life is completely different. Um, Afterlife is something that each of us create. So if your afterlife consists of Jesus meeting you, he's going to meet you. If mine is my family, or it looks like clouds, that's what's going to happen for me. Um, Also, like, people who are having issues letting go in this lifetime might have issues letting go in the afterlife. So those souls will probably still be attached to this life, still kind of haunting the house they lived in or whatever, or like holding the grudge, or like, wanting fame or whatever it is. I've seen so many ghost shows where like these ghosts live still in the business they created, and they haunt it like a theater or something. And it's like, and it's funny when you talk to them, most of them just want like these human things that like they haven't like sort of like evolved or let go of, like the ego. Like this one ghost wanted their name on the marquee still, like he wanted the name of his business to be his name that he called it, and he would stop haunting it. And that's what they did. Now they honor that ghost, and it's a peaceful place, and like he's probably still there, but um like it's so funny to me that like even ghosts afterlife like are still gripping so hard, and essentially that could be hell. Like still, like they're still living in hell that they lived in earth. So it's like heaven and hell sort of follows you afterlife as well. um, it's really important to learn these lessons now and here, and like work on that, and you have the choice. You have the choice to live in heaven and hell, essentially, here and in the afterlife. um, with that being said, there's so much to talk about, like who we are we, what is God. My next topic is what is God, and God is energy. God is source. God is you can't even put words to it. It's felt. It is the essence of everything. It is. We are all God. That's the spoiler alert. I felt this way for a while, but I haven't really like said it to people. It's funny because I feel this way years ahead of time, and like I say it to a couple people and they're like, you're weird, like you're that is crazy. So I kind of bottle it up and don't say anything, but then all of a sudden online or other people start saying it, and I'm like, yep, thought of that already like 2 years ago. I'm glad it's public knowledge now and we're able to say this, and people aren't going to get offended or freak out or think it's nuts. But like, yeah, it's true. We all are God. Jesus was God. I'm God. I'm just like Jesus. I can be just like Jesus if I wanted to be. He's a guy. Um, he is glorified, which I still don't really know why. I think people like to hold on again to that idea of like tradition, or like I don't know what their parents believed. I'm not really sure why there's such a connection to Jesus, but I can see for those that don't have such a strong connection with themselves, how they need something to look to. I feel like I was that way a long time ago, where it's like if you're Googling for answers that like you can find within yourself, then you probably haven't developed a strong connection with yourself yet. Um, that's still kind of living in hell. When you start to like turn inwards towards yourself, you find your answers, you find who you are, you find um, your connection to spirit and God, outside of anyone else, even including Jesus. You have your own connection, and Jesus would want you to do that. Trust me, like any evolved being knows this, which he was. And I don't follow his teachings, but if he wasn't teaching you to find it yourself, then he was just like everyone else, and wanted like some sort of ego fame. So he should be teaching you to find it within yourself, outside of him. Like it's not like worship me and listen to me. It's like um, you go through your own um, dark night of the soul or ego death to find your own relationship with God that exists within you and is totally capable and possible for all of us. I've done it. So many people have. It's a daily connection that you develop and will never let go of when you find it, and that essentially is heaven. So yeah, and that kind of leads us into this next topic of like creation. um so since we all are God in a way, we're energy, something with our thoughts, like in our beliefs, create our reality. So if you can believe it, you can achieve it and it can happen. It really can. I don't know how real time that is yet. It seems to be speeding up faster and faster. Like as soon as I think something, like it's almost like other people's validation create it. So it's like I don't know if it needs the collective to create the reality. I think there is something there to that, or like a majority of the energy to feel this way for it to be reality. But like if you can think it and you can uh, imagine it, then it is possible. And I think we're on the verge of like really freaky things with um, like flying, which I'm having this like flashback of reoccurring dreams that I have. I have a reoccurring dream that's the only like nightmarish dream that I have. It's if I'm always being chased by like burglars or something, or bad people, and for me to get away from them is I start to fly. And I can feel in my body what it feels like to sort of like the energy needed to get myself off the ground, and it's like this feeling, and I like get higher and higher, and I eventually get away from them. So I wonder if that's something possible within my lifetime, or that would be wild. I never really thought that was possible, but I think like dreams, this is another topic, are totally another life timelines happening. All the time happens for me. I'm gonna write that down. Dreams. Um, so yeah, I think it's possible. So with that being said, there's like no end. You, it's like that video where like you go in the house, and then once you look in the window, a whole nother house opens up, or and then you look in the window and it's another scene. That's reality. Like you will never find an end, and it's all expansive. Once your mind and your awareness goes there, it's creating. Your awareness creates reality. So it'll never be, there'll never be an end. It looks black because we haven't like sort of created it yet, but it will be created, and it'll fill in with things beyond once something thinks of it and says, this is what's behind the black hole. We're like, oh, somebody just decided that or had this theory, and then now we all kind of believe that. And then sure enough, you look through the black hole and there's another universe. Like at one point, it was just a black hole. Now it's a universe. So yeah, it's always evolving and creating, and it'll never end. And with that being said, the beginning, I can't even pinpoint either. I don't know if there was a true beginning, because I don't see it. I see it sort of similar, like the expansiveness of our thought and ideas, similar to the beginning. I don't know if there was like one point. Um, yeah, I don't see it. It's weird. I don't see like it's not like some guy, because even if now everyone talks about like aliens, it's like, but who created the aliens? And it's endless. It just keeps going back. So I don't think there's like a true beginning either, because only now is true. And then now every time we go back, it's just like we're creating stories and we're creating it as we think it. So there's no point, there's no end, and there's no beginning. It's just like creation constantly. um Okay, what else do we have to talk about? Humans, EU being involved. we're not as evolved as we think we are. I think we're like on the verge of it though, like really changing, because it's like all these people like myself, and even back in time, we're like so ridiculed for like their progressive thoughts. Like if they were to ever say like, oh, I am God, it would be like a freak out. But now I can say it. So we are in these times where things are becoming more normalized. Like we can astral project, we can jump in other bodies, I can experience what someone else experienced, which I have my whole life. I've always done that. Now it's like not so much an issue. We're getting less and less with like diagnosing people when they are able to do this stuff. People are hearing voices or seeing things, which, you know, I've always felt like are just like evolved souls. So yeah, I think it's time to like accept these gifts versus like try to change them about ourselves. And then now we're opening up new opportunities for us to like help others, and careers for even for us. So it's kind of a really cool time, but we're not as evolved as we think we are. Being truly evolved really takes like letting go of our minds. Essentially, we hold so tight on like the intellect and like knowing things from the mind, like learning, and scholarly things. But when we really start to know things from like the quantum level, I don't even know how to describe it. Like it takes an instant to understand something fully, and we can communicate directly with people, and learn. And we essentially kind of like can all be and know this information. It's not like I am a master of and I have all this education anymore, and it's almost like it doesn't even matter. And if you do have a lot of education, it's almost like you kind of don't know anything, because you're learning from somebody else from a book and you don't truly know yourself. So it's like until you truly feel, and it can happen in an instant, and it's just like a tapping into that quantum energy field of like you gain the knowledge, and you just know. And so that's when we start to become fully involved, because it takes less thought. You start to like let go of emotion, kind of all the humanness, and you become more stagnant like a tree would. Like the tree's like, why are you guys running around wasting your energy when you can just stand still? And it's true. Like why do we run around and waste energy? So I think I'll leave it at that. Maybe next time I'll talk about dreams, because I think that came up and that's an interesting topic. But I'd love to hear your thoughts, and like if you like these videos, and I'll do some more. So have a wonderful day and enjoy. Till next time.